Hello from day 59.
Good morning.
Good morning. We have a very nice view behind us.
Courtesy of the power lines.
Yep. And kind of a sunrise over there. Sun's just starting to come up.
Yep.
I slept pretty well. I was up at 4:30 because it got really windy. And then fell asleep until our 6 a.m. alarm.
That sounds nice.
Yeah. Still feel kind of tired though because I didn't sleep well the night before last.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I slept pretty well. Woke up to pee a couple of times.
Saw you reading your book.
I read my book because I had a hard time falling back to sleep. And that helped. So, yeah, it was a pretty good night's sleep.
We have a little bit of uphill and then like 6 miles down. And then we have to go over a big mountain.
Yeah, 2 miles and like
It's
just
2.5, almost 3.
Okay. And a lot of elevation. So.
Yeah, almost 2,000 feet. So, let's go. We just crossed a little stream and my foot went in. For the first time, there was a slippery rock and I went to go step on it and my foot just slid off. So it's just half of it, like by my toes. Rather unfortunate. Now my toes are cold and wet. I mean, they'll dry, but probably not today. Lovely. At least it's not cold out. That would be kind of miserable.
So I'm sitting here doing my exercises and I'm noticing this tree that looks like there's one tree here and then another tree here, and it looks like, you know, they used to be separate. There's bark right there and it looks like then they sort of grew together. And I thought that was really cool. And then I looked at the part that I was sitting on, and there's the separate part right there. And this is right where they joined. I thought that was pretty cool.
Oh my gosh, that would be such a nice campsite. Right by the water. Although Green Bean would hate it, because the water would be too loud. We are hiking through some very cool rocks. Oh, my knee almost gave out for a second there. We're just walking in between them. It's very cool. Well, I am on my own again. Green Bean like slipped on some rocks earlier. One time she twisted her ankle, which was like, that felt fine. and then her foot was really bothering her, and it's about 7.3 miles to Boots Off, and there's no exit point, and but there's a road about a mile back, so she decided that she's gonna go back to that road and get a ride to Boots Off, and is sending me on my way to meet her there. So that is rather unfortunate. It sucks. So I told her she has to call when she gets to the top of this, like, these steps, because there isn't service in the parking lot. So hopefully she will be able to get a ride in, and I'm gonna hike by myself. Okay, I'm not going to be able to film myself going around this, but this is the part where you're kind of walking on the ledge next to the water. And I've seen this in so many people's videos, but I did not realize that that was here. So I'm right by a stream, and I'm about to go up a huge mountain. So I just dunked my head in the water. And hopefully that keeps me cool for a bit. Hello. We're in the van, about to go to the grocery store at Boots Off. It's also 6 p.m. Have not filmed in a long time. So, we will fill you in when we get back.
Sounds good.
On everything. Hello from the hostel. I'm standing in the floodlights so that y'all can see me. So it's been a little bit. I know there wasn't much filming in the afternoon, but that's actually because I was hiking with the 6-pack all day. Or after Green Bean went back and got a shuttle. So my filter was really funky, like smelled bad, think it was moldy. And when Green Bean turned back around, I forgot to get a filter. So I was just gonna do 7 miles with the 1.5 liters that I had, which was not gonna be a good idea since we're going uphill over a mountain and it was hot out. But I came down the road right before the start of the mountain, and there was the 6-pack. And I said, "Can I ask you a huge favor? Can I borrow a filter?" They were like, "Oh my gosh, yes, of course." So I filled up my water and ended up hiking all the way to Boots Off with them. We went at a super similar pace, and it was so fun chatting with them. Like, I had a blast. We basically talked the entire 7 miles. And yeah, it was just, I had a really good time chatting with them. And oh wait, maybe I can set this down so I don't have to hold it. No, whatever. Okay, so got to Boots Off, and Green Bean's foot is still bugging her. So we were trying to think of, there's an aqua blaze potentially that we could do tomorrow, but then what happens the next day if then her foot is still bugging her? And then, for a while she's been sort of, well, maybe you go hike for a few days by yourself and then I can catch up. I don't love the idea of hiking by myself. I mean, okay, that's a lie. I like the idea of hiking by myself. I don't like the idea of sleeping by myself in the woods. That freaks me out. I've never done it before. I don't know. I know people do it all the time, but so when I'd been talking to the 6-pack earlier, they'd said, "Well, you're always welcome to help hike with us." I was like, "Oh yeah, sure, very sweet, thank you." But Green Bean and I got to talking, and I think, we kind of came to the conclusion that the best thing for me to do is to hike with them into Damascus. And she's gonna get a shuttle tomorrow. She's been having a really rough day, so she's not ending this video out with me. She's just kind of struggling with the whole idea of it. Not just, you know, like missing stuff. It's really hard, and she's just really frustrated with her foot. So, I texted them and I was like, hey, so I know you said I could hike with you, but are you actually serious? Because, you know, I don't want to hike by myself, and I had such a blast with you guys today. And they were like, oh my gosh, yes, we would love to have you. So I'm gonna meet them tomorrow morning, and we're gonna hike to a shelter, and then the next day we're gonna attempt the marathon into Damascus, which none of us know if we can do it. So it's all kind of we'll see how far we get. And I have way too much food, like way too much. I don't know how I ended up with this much food, but I did. So that's the plan. Green Bean's getting a shuttle to Damascus tomorrow and is gonna hang out there until I get there, and we don't know what's gonna happen in Damascus, cause it's only 2 or 3 days away that I'm gonna get there, and yeah. We don't really know how much is gonna change by the time I get there or what the whole dealio is. But I got the stove from her, her water filter, and the ground cloth. So I'm all set. But let's see, my highlight was hiking with the 6-pack, definitely. And my character builder was having to leave Green Bean. And, well, I guess I didn't have to. She was very encouraging of me to keep walking and meet her there. So just that whole situation, and having to tell her that she missed the section where you walk on those rocks by the water. I mean, we've seen like everyone do those in our videos, so I told her that at dinner because she watches all of our videos, and I didn't want her to find out, you know, just by watching them. And yeah, that was just really too bad. So I'm gonna go to bed. It's 8:30. I have a headache and I'm tired. So I'll see y'all tomorrow. Good night.